Over the Garden Wall is a series that understands something deceptively difficult. Atmosphere can be meaning. Why? Because it does not simply evoke Halloween imagery or seasonal aesthetics. Instead, it captures the soul of autumn, the quiet melancholy beneath the color, the feeling of transition, and the subtle unease that accompanies change. Fall in Over the Garden Wall is not just a setting. It's a psychological space shaped by memory, loss, and uncertainty. My name is Jacko, and this is What It Takes to Be Great, a series where we examine anime, television, films, video games, and more, and explain why certain stories endure. Much of this atmosphere is rooted in folklore and American Gothic tradition. The series draws heavily from early American folktales, 19th century illustrations, and rural mythologies. Stories passed down orally where morality is ambiguous and the forest is both refuge and a threat. Its visual language echoes artists like Winsor McCay and the pastoral unease found in American Gothic storytelling, where small towns, old songs, and polite smiles often conceal something darker. The unknown feels timeless, as though it exists outside modernity, governed by superstition rather than logic. This folkloric foundation allows the show to speak across generations. Over the Garden Wall blends the visual comfort of animation with the storytelling rhythm of older, more contemplative television. Its pacing is unhurried, its dialogue deliberate, and its themes understated. Younger audiences are drawn in by whimsy and humor, while older viewers recognize deeper anxieties, the fear of being lost, the fear of responsibility, and the fear of growing up. The result is an experience that feels gentle without being simplistic. Like The Logic of Dreams, the series prioritizes emotional coherence over realism. Episodes drift in and out of one another, often operating as self-contained vignettes. Potatoes and Molasses, for example, represents playful absurdity on the surface, yet reinforces the show's emphasis on ritual, repetition, and the comfort of routine in unfamiliar places. Lullaby of the Leaves leans further into folk horror, using song and cyclical imagery to blur the line between celebration and entrapment. This tonal flexibility extends to the show's handling of fear. The Beast, never fully explained, rarely seen clearly, embodies a distinctly folkloric antagonist. He is less a villain than a presence, inevitability, despair, and the temptation to give up. His design, voice, and limited appearances mirror how fear operates in nightmares, never constant but always waiting. By refusing to overexpose him, the series allows unease to grow organically. This balance between comfort and dread is what gives the show its lasting impact. Its characters are not only visually charming, but defined by their voices and cadence. Dialogue is musical, intentional, and often old-fashioned, reinforcing the sense that these characters belong to another time. Even figures who appear for a single episode feel complete, distinct personalities who linger in memory long after they leave the screen. In this way, Over the Garden Wall belongs to the same lineage as Adventure Time. Both series function as examples of liminal animation, stories that exist between childhood and adulthood, comedy and horror, the familiar and the strange. They challenge the idea of what a cartoon is allowed to be, both visually and thematically. Animation becomes a medium for exploring ambiguity, loss, and the identity in the ways that feel approachable rather than overwhelming. Despite its short runtime, Over the Garden Wall is remarkably complete. The finale resolves the emotional arc without dismantling the ambiguity that defines the series as a whole. It provides clarity where it matters, emotionally, while preserving the dreamlike logic of the unknown. When the story ends, it invites reflection rather than finality, encouraging viewers to revisit it with a new understanding. And many do. Over the Garden Wall is often watched seasonally, returning each year as autumn begins, much like traditional holiday films that mark time rather than simply entertain. Watching it as the leaves fall feels ritualistic, a way of setting the emotional tone for the season. In that sense, the series becomes more than a show, it becomes a tradition. And that enduring seasonal resonance is what makes Over the Garden Wall great.
This is my last track.